everyone, and welcome to Cup2Hook movie night. Tonight we are discussing Longmire, season 6, episodes 5 and 6. After tonight, we only have 2 more nights, 4 more episodes before we have completed Longmire. What a ride and what a journey it has been. Oh my gosh, we have fallen in love with these characters, and so it is a little bittersweet to see it coming to an end, but I'm ready. I'm ready for a new journey and new characters and a new series and a new plot. And whew, I've heard also to be ready for Kleenex. So that is on the shopping list. I do apologize that I was a few minutes late getting on. I was trying to finish my dinner. So I have not quite finished that, but I will be kind of munching on that as we get started here. Hello, Jen. Jen says hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Looks like we got 3 people here with us. Oh, now we're down to 2. So you, Jen, me, and 1 other person. So welcome, whoever you are, and thank you for joining us. So Jen, I'm going to go ahead and get your name on the board. And I need to get my choo-choo train. I keep it stored in this little container so it stays nice and protected. It is right beside the storage container that holds the ladybug for Wednesday on the Hook. While we're waiting for everyone to come on, Jen, I did get a chance twice. One about 2 weeks ago, and then one not too long ago, a couple days ago. I reached out to Charlie to check on her, and she is just continuing to have a rough time with her health and whatnot, and so we just need to continue to pray for her that she will get better. Yes, Jen says, oh my. I know to some degree everybody has their own, battles and daily struggles, but I just hate it when, people are sick. It just is sad. So definitely want to pray for her. Yes, Jen. Jen says prayers for her. So my dinner is a ham and cheese sandwich, Doritos, pickles, and what's left of my milk. So something quick and easy. Jen says they think my uncle had a stroke today. Oh, wow, Jen. That's not good. What is his first name? Jen says, I'm still waiting to hear. Well, definitely keep me posted. Jen says, be right back. Oh, wait. Oh, Bob. Sorry. His name is Bob. Hey, Roseanne. She says, hi, Cynthia. Hi, Jen. And Jen says, hi, Roseanne. Welcome, welcome. And Roseanne, I appreciate you having your all caps on. And I do encourage everyone to do the same. Hopefully, my new glasses that I get to pick up in the morning will improve that. But we'll see. I'll get Roseanne's name added on here. So we'll give it just a few more minutes to see if we get some more people on here. If not, you guys will gain a lot of points towards a prize. So this week and the next 2 weeks are all we have left of Longmire. And since we have already chosen all the colors and there's no more colors to choose, again, the big giveaway goes on, to the person with the video where you guys, submit your pictures and I do that completed video. But I'm doing a small prize giveaway for Longmire to the person who accumulates the most points between the next 3 weeks, including tonight. Oh, Jen, she says, I've already started to fall asleep. I hope I can make it all night. Well, I mean, if not, we can always call it a night and pick up next week. Y'all have certainly been understanding for me. I am definitely understanding. That lettuce is so nice and fresh. I do appreciate if y'all give me a thumbs up. I was trying to also find out what happened with my daughter-in-law. They came in this morning and I was in the studio working. My son left for work and Angel and Violet came into the studio to talk to me and give, oh no, wow, can you really hear that? I'm so sorry. She says, laugh out loud, it sounds crunchy. Oops. And then I took a nap this afternoon and I woke up about 3 o'clock and I thought they were still in the nursery with the door closed napping. And normally my son comes in around 5:15, 5:30 to pick her up, and she has to be to work at 6. And that time frame came and no sun. And she didn't come out of the room. 6:30 rolled around, and I told my husband, I said, well, just go check and make sure they're okay. There was no one in the room. So I text messaged her before I got on to my last live for Cup2Hook Conversations, just asked, is everything okay? And I haven't heard back from her. So I'm trying to find out if they're okay and what's going on. But I haven't heard anything. All right. Looks like we're getting a couple more people. Well, give me a thumbs up emoji or just say me or something to let me know if you're ready to start with questions, and we'll see who we got. Yeah, I've not heard back from her. So I'm going to text my son real quick. We'll see if we hear from him. All right, so I got Roseanne and Jen. Well, ladies, I'm going to leave it up to you. What you want to do. Jen, I know you said you were already tired. We don't have Mare or Kelly or Viola or Deborah or Anna. Sorry. Jen said, have you heard that HD hurt her foot? She can't walk on it. I knew I had been praying for her about her foot, but I did not know she could not walk on it. So no. Thank you for telling me. Jen says she said that in another live today. Wow. I'll definitely reach out to her. Thank you for sharing that, Jen. Well, Jen and Roseanne, what do you guys want to do? I am so sorry. I've done nothing but eat and pick my teeth. I can't stand to have food in my teeth. I usually have to brush my teeth right after I eat. Like I have no manners and get sick and lose my manners. Roseanne says it doesn't matter to me what you decide. If you want to skip this, you can. I mean, I'm good to go either way. I mean, I have my boards and my questions and my crochet ready. You know, I can always go watch some more Vampire Diaries with Mr. Joyful and crochet. I mean, it seriously doesn't matter to me. I mean, I am literally here for us. So, and like I said, you guys have been above and beyond patient with me during this recovery and my sickness. Excuse me. Now I'm burping. Oh my gosh. You guys, I'm so sorry. Jen says, I don't care. Roseanne says, this way you can concentrate on getting in touch with your family and Jen can get her sleep. Jen says, Roseanne, you are sweet. Yes, you are. Well, if we want to do that, then we can. Do we want to? Another option we can do is next week, and I can do this in the reminder. We can do, if you want, tonight we were doing episodes 5 and 6. We can do episodes 5, 6, and 7 next Friday. And then the following Friday, we can do 8, 9, and 10 if y'all want. And then Jen says, Roseanne says, heart emoji and praying hands. Jen says, I'm good for now. Roseanne says, then double up next time with the next 2 shows to make it 4. Well, I think time-wise, maybe we could do 3 and then 3 the following week. What now? Roseanne says, I was typing when you were talking the same thing. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we can do that. So just in case, because I do have a lot of new subscribers, so welcome, welcome. You know what? Lurking. I do have to come up with a new word for lurking. I don't like that word. And subscribers. I don't like just calling them subscribers. And I know that's what they are, but not to me. So I've got some new joy buddies. How about that? I don't have subscribers. I've got joy buddies. Yay! Oh, yeah. What's another word for lurking? We're not going to use the word lurking. People don't lurk. I'm looking back at that laid back joy that we came up with on Wednesday, Jen. But I don't have subscribers anymore. Okay, they're joy buddies on my channel. Jen says we can do the first episode now since it's a long one. That is entirely up to y'all. If that's what you want to do, I'm game. Observers. I like that a lot better than lurkers. Yes. I will definitely be working on that. going to change up the YouTube lingo. Okay, it threw me for a minute, but Mare is here with us. She says, "Hi, buddy. It's Mare." Well, hello there, Mare. I didn't recognize you at first. You must be under your sun. Jen says, "Hi, Mare." Okay. Well, if you want, we can start and see how far we get. How about that? Or Sean, Jen says. And Roseanne says, "Hi, Mare." Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and we'll get started. Let me get my little emoji pulled up here of our choo-choo train. Yes, my son was using my husband's phone. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. My battery's low, so charging. Gotcha. Jen says, "I looked it up, and hook is another word for lurk." Oh. Well, we're not going to call them joy hookers. That just doesn't sound right. Got my brain going in overdrive. Mare, we were trying to come up with a different name for people who lurk because that just doesn't sound right. And I want it to sound more inviting. They want to bring their project and work along and listen to us, then I love it. But I want to have a cool name for them. All right. Jen says, "I was thinking the same." Technically, we are joyful hookers, though. Mare says, "Mysterious guest." Masquerade. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys. So, yes, while I was trying to eat, I did get the last 22 minutes of the second episode watched. Wow. It was good. All right. So, again, if you'll do me a favor and put your caps on, it makes it so much easier for me. And there's our little train emoji. So if you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started. I've got Jen, Roseanne, and Mare on the board. If there's anyone else playing for a prize at the end of the 3 weeks, let me know. Speak now. The first question is multiple choice. Who called Walt's home phone? A, Henry, B, Walt's lawyer, or C, Katie? Mary says, or maybe a peeper. I have it. I have to write it down or I will never remember it until I start saying it enough. Hang on. My mouth's full. Yes, she does. Which is why I can't take it. Because I'm one of her peepers. I'm one of her peeps. Yes. Mary says Crystal calls everyone peeps. Jen says joy seekers. That is good. You want to hear what I came up with? Yarn enthusiasts. What you think? I do like the joy seekers though. We got some joy seekers. Kind of do like that. You know, my channel is all about joy. They're stopping in. I don't know, Jen, that might be just it. All right. Answers are locked in, and my little emoji train has locked them in. And we've got B, C, and B as the answer. The correct answer is B, Walt's lawyer. So Roseanne and Mare, you both get a point. And Roseanne, you get 2 points for ringing in with the correct answer first. No, excuse me. Now I'm going to go from eating, picking my teeth, burping, to now having hiccups. What's next? All right, just kind of getting organized here. All right, so Roseanne, you get 2 points, and Mary, you have 1 point. All right, next question is true or false? Vic asked Walt if he was ready for the trial. True or false? Dropping pickle juice all over me. Oh, wow. All right, answers are in. Everyone rang in with true. And the correct answer is false. She asked him if he was scared. And he replied, no. But then again, he did hide all of his money. So no one gets a point for that one. All right. The next question is true or false. Walt's lawyer told him to look and act in court like nothing bothered him. True or false? Roseanne says sneaky. Yeah, that was a sneaky one. All right, everyone's answered. And I've got some true and I got some false. And the correct answer is true. He told him to look and act in court like nothing mattered. So Roseanne and Mare both said true. Roseanne, you rang in first, so that gives you 2 points. Mare, 1 point. All right. Next question is multiple choice. What term did Tucker Baggett use to describe Walt? Was it A, legend, B, deceiver, or C, hero? Oh, wow. You guys must have watched these episodes for last week when I got sick. Okay. Everybody rang in with the answer B for deceiver. Let me lock in those answers. But the correct answer is A for legend. He called him a legend. All right. I guess that one was kind of sneaky too, because everybody knows that that was what Tucker Baggett was trying to prove, that Walt was not a good sheriff and he was a deceiver. But the actual word was legend, or not that he was a deceiver, that everything he did and said was false. He covered up his tracks. All right, the next one is multiple choice as well. Walt wants who to put his land in their name? A, Vic, B, Henry, or C, Katie? Jen says, I haven't seen this since last week. Roseanne says, oops. All right, everyone's got their answers in. Everyone answered with C. And C is the correct answer. It was Katie. So everybody gets a point. And Jen, you get 2 points because you rang in with the correct answer first. All right. Next question is true or false. Walt told Katie to keep coming to court. True or false? All right, and everyone has rang in with false. False is the correct answer, so everyone gets a point. Roseanne, you get 2 points because you rang in first. He did not want her coming. All right. In fact, I wrote a note that he did not want her to see him like this. So. All right, number 7 is multiple choice. Walt got drunk and passed out where? A, home, B, Katie's house, or C, Henry's room at the Red Pony? All right, everyone's answers are in. Well, gotta have the emoji there. Okay, so we've got 1 answer for A, home, and 2 answers for C, Henry's room at the Red Pony. C is the correct answer. So Roseanne and Jen, you both get a point. Roseanne, you get 2 points because you came in with the correct answer first. All right. Next question. Let me turn the page. Is multiple choice. Who called Walt on the phone? Was it A, Ruby, B, Vic, or C, Matthias? This is the next morning after he'd been drinking and he got home again. Who called him on the phone? Was it A, Ruby, B, Vic, or C, Matthias? All right, answers are in. Everyone answered with C for Matthias. That is the correct answer. So everyone gets a point. Roseanne, you get 2 points because you rang in with the correct answer first. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Who was the dead body? A, Lucian, B, Tucker Baggett, or C, Walt's attorney? Roseanne says, on fire. Yes, ma'am, you are. Mary says, you are on fire. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so sorry. I even got it out and I haven't been using it. I'm so sorry. My bad, my bad. Okay. All right. So Roseanne, you originally said C, changed your answer to B. Jen said B and Mare said B. Okay. So I am going to go with the first answer that you give. So Jen and Mare, the correct answer is B, and Jen, you rang in with the first correct answer. And so Jen, you get 2 points. And Mare, you get 1 point. Roseanne says, I was fast with the trigger. I hear you. Oops. They still have to work hard to catch up with you. Okay. Number 10 is true or false. The mayor talked to Walt and his attorney. True or false? The mayor talked to Walt and his attorney. True or false? Oh, and I didn't put that emoji in. I'm so sorry for that. And there's that one. All right. So we've got some false and we've got a true. The correct answer is false. It was just Walt. And his attorney was like, what is this? Like The Godfather? All right. So Roseanne and Jen, you both get a point. Roseanne, you get 2 points for ringing in first. All right. Woo woo, Roseanne. Okay. Next question is multiple choice. Where did Walt have Ferg drive him? Was it A, Tucker Baggett's home, B, the casino, or C, where they found Tucker's body? All right, all the answers are in. And we've got B, the casino, as answers, and C, where Tucker's body was found. And the correct answer is A, to Tucker's home. He had Ferg drive him to Tucker's home. All right, so no one gets a point for that. All right. The next question is also multiple choice. What was missing from Tucker's house? Was it his cell phone and his wallet, A, B, a bullet and his briefcase, or C, his keys and his car? What was missing from Tucker's home? A, cell phone and wallet, B, bullet and briefcase, C, keys and car. Okay. Jen says that's a B. Roseanne says B. And Mare says A. Okay. Just because I have to be fair, because I was fair with Roseanne earlier, I just had to make sure, Jen, that B was absolutely close to the N, and it is. All right. So Roseanne and Jen, you are the only two that got that answer correct, because it was B, a bullet from his chair and his briefcase that he can pull along. And Jen, you get that extra point. Roseanne is still on fire, y'all. Y'all got a lot of catching up to do. Woo, woo, Jen. You go, Roseanne. All right, the next one is true or false. Oh, let me put my emoji in. And let's see. Jen says, I have fat fingers. Roseanne, clap for Jen. And then my emoji. Y'all, there's a fly flying around in here, and he's going to drive me just crazy. All right, true or false? Tucker's gun that was found in the desk drawer had been fired. True or false? All right, answers are all in. And the correct answer is false. It had not been fired. So Roseanne and Jen, you get the point for that. And Roseanne, you get the extra point for ringing in first. Woo woo, Roseanne. Woo woo. All right, the next question is true or false? Walt told Vic that he didn't have an alibi for Tucker's murder. True or false? I'm trying to read my notes here. I think my note was supposed to be Henry instead of Vic. But anyway, you guys all rang in with true. So this is at the very beginning of the episode. This is before he talks with Henry. So think about the question. When Walt first saw Vic, he told her that he didn't have an alibi for Tucker's murder. True or false? Mary says, I think I did better without watching it and just guessing. Laugh out loud. And Roseanne rang in with false. Okay. So Roseanne, you're going to get those points because Walt did think he had an alibi. He thought Henry was his alibi. He doesn't know yet what Henry did while he was passed out. Okay. He did have one. The question was, Walt told Vic that he did not have an alibi for Tucker's murder. So the answer would be false, because he did tell Vic he had an alibi. Because when she and he were talking, everybody was assuming that Walt had killed Tucker. And he says, no, I have an alibi. I was passed out at the Red Pony. I was passed out with Henry. So at that point in time, Walt truly thought he had a legit alibi. So the correct answer was false. And Roseanne ended up being the first one to ring in. And Jen says, laugh out loud, Mayor, about the fact that she did better guessing than she did after watching it. Jen says, I'm still not remembering the episode yet. Laugh out loud. Oh, bless your heart. Roseanne says, right? Okay. All right. So Roseanne gets those points. All right. So just think about that if another question on the alibi comes up, because I can't remember what I wrote either. All right. Next question is true or false. Walt checked Vic's gun to see if it had been shot. True or false? Let me get my little emoji in here real quick. Oh, okay. I'll still take that, Jen. All right. So Jen and Mayor said true, and Roseanne said false, locking those answers in. And the correct answer is true. He did check her gun to see if it had been discharged. So Jen and Mayor, you both get points, and Jen, you get 2 points for ringing in first. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Whose name was whited out on Tucker's planner? Was it A, Bo Bonner, B, Alex Graham, or C, Stevie Gunther? Now, if y'all are struggling with just the general facts, y'all are probably going to struggle with this. Maybe not. Good girls. All right, answers are in. All right, so we've got Jen with A for Bo Bonner, and then Roseanne and Mayor for B for Alex Graham. And the correct answer is B for Alex Graham. And Roseanne, woo woo, you get the extra point. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Who is Alex Graham? A friend of Barlow's, B, Barlow's sister, or C, Barlow's wife? Yes, Mayor. Roseanne is on fire. All right, answers are all in. Locking them in. So we've got an answer for B, Barlow's sister, and then we've got 2 answers for C, Barlow's wife. And it probably, I think technically it's his ex-wife, but C is the correct answer. So Roseanne and Jen, you both get points. And Roseanne, woo woo, you get the extra point. All right, next question is true or false. Alex did not know that Tucker had been killed. True or false? All right, answers are in. And the correct answer is false, because she did know. She did know that Tucker had been murdered. All right, so the points go to Mare and Roseanne. And guess what? That extra point goes to Mare. Congratulations. Yay. All right. Next question is true or false? Henry used Walt's Bronco the night he passed out and Tucker was murdered. True or false? Roseanne has emoji claps for Mare. Mare says laugh out loud. All right, and all of our answers are in. Everyone rang in with true, and of course, true is the correct answer. He did use Walt's Bronco. So everyone gets a point, and the extra point goes to Jen. Woo woo! Way to go. All right, let's see what question we're on. All right. 3 more questions, and I'll give y'all a tally of the points. Who's got what? I'm just making sure this isn't my kids, and it's not. All right. Next question is true or false? Listen closely to the verb. Henry was Walt's alibi. True or false? Roseanne says, yay, Jen. Oh, that's so sweet, Roseanne. All right, so I have true and false coming in. I'm going to lock those answers in. I even emphasize was. And so that answer is true. So Mare, you are the only one who got it right. So you get both points. Henry was Walt's alibi. But now that we know that he took off with the Bronco in the middle of the night, he cannot vouch for Walt. Roseanne says, yay, Mare. Jen says, yay, Mare. All right, so that leads us into our next question, which is multiple choice. If Henry remained Walt's alibi, Henry said it would make Walt look what? A, guilty, B, a liar, or C, an enabler? All right, all the answers are in. And we actually have A, B, and C answers represented. So obviously one of you got it right. The one who got it right is also going to get 2 points. And the one who got it right and gets our woot woot train is, Jen says laugh out loud, Mare. Henry told Walt if he remained his alibi, it would make Walt look guilty. So good job, Mare. All right, next question is also multiple choice. Henry told Walt he shot someone for him once, but not Tucker. Who did Henry say he shot? Roseanne says, Mare. Jen says, cool, Mare. Mare says, no way, shocking. All right, so let me reread the question. Henry told Walt he shot someone for him once, but not Tucker. Who did Henry shoot? A, Walker Browning, B, Trot Simic, or C, Malachi? Walter Browning, Trot Simic, or Malachi? Oh, wow. Okay. So answers are in. Let me get them locked in. The correct answer was given. I had some say A for Walter Browning, and I had one say B for Trot Simic, and the correct answer goes to Mare with B for Trot Simic. So Mare, you get 2 points for that question. All right. I think we are, okay. We're a little over the halfway point of those questions. So the score so far, I have Jen with 16 points. I have Roseanne with 24. And I have Mare with 17 points. So that's where we stand so far. And remember, these points will carry over till the end of the rest of the season. So good job, you guys. All right. But keep in mind, I've got some bonus questions coming up, and they're worth 3 points for the first person who rings in with the correct answer. All right. This next question is multiple choice. Let me put my emoji in. And Jen says, I'm not good at names. Roseanne says, whoop, whoop. Mare says, wow. Jen says, Mare, thumbs up. Roseanne says, wow. Jen says, I'm last. Laugh out loud. Only by a point. Very, very close. Between you and Mare. Roseanne's still kind of taking that train out the station for sure. Good job, Roseanne. Okay. Multiple choice. Who gave Officer Wilkins an alibi for Walt? Was it A, Katie, B, Ferg, or C, Vic? And answers are in. And of course it was Vic. So everybody gets a point. And Jen, you rang in first. Jen says, Roseanne hasn't been in the station for a long time. Well, this is true. This is very, very true. She took off right at the beginning, didn't she, Jen? All right. So, Jen, you get 2 points. And Roseanne gets a point. And Mare gets a point. Good job, ladies. Roseanne says, yes, Jen. All right. Next one is multiple choice. What did Vic write Officer Wilkins a ticket for? Was it A, littering, B, loitering, or C, a parking ticket? All right, all the answers are in. And everybody got the answer correct because everyone chose B. And Jen, woo, woo, you get the extra point. So 2 for you, 1 for Roseanne, and 1 for Mayor. All right. Next question is multiple choice. What did Walt have Lucian check for him? A, his sanity, B, his gun, or C, where Vic went? All right, all the answers are in. Everyone said B for Walt's gun. That is the correct answer. And the person who got the extra point was Roseanne. Yay! All right, so Jen gets a point, Roseanne gets 2 points, and Mayor gets a point. All right, moving on. Got my emoji up? I do. All right, next question is multiple choice. How many rounds did Walt say he was missing from his gun? Was it A, 1, B, 2, or C, 3? All right, we've got all of our answers in. Complete that. And locking in the answers. All right. So we've got 1 answer for C and 2 answers for B. And one of those is the correct answer. And the person who has the correct answer and gets 2 points is Roseanne, because the correct answer is C. He was missing 3 rounds from his gun. So good job, Roseanne. All right, true or false is the next question. Lucian replaced the bullets in Walt's gun so that there was none missing. True or false? Mayor says fire. Yes, she is. She is on fire. Mayor says that train has Roseanne's name on it. This is very true. All right, got all the answers in. So locking those answers in. Roseanne says, it's been a while for me. Well, congratulations, my friend. You are doing really well. All right, and so everyone rang in with true. The correct answer is true. And the person who gets the extra point is Jen. Good job, my friend. Whoops. Well, that's not good. Let's see how great my toes work. I got to get it to me first. It went way up under that table. Voila! All right. All right. So Jen gets 2 points, Roseanne gets 1, and Mary gets 1. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Whose house was broken into, setting off an alarm? A, Walt, B, Barlow's, or C, Tucker? All right, all the answers are in. Everyone said B for Barlow's, And that is the correct answer. So everyone gets a point. The person who gets the extra point is whoop whoop, Jen. Congratulations. So Jen gets 2 points. Roseanne gets 1 point, and Mare gets a point. You guys are all doing a great job. All right, next question is true or false? Alex broke into Barlow's home. True or false? All right, all the answers are in, and we've got some true or false. And the correct answer is true. It was Alex that broke into Barlow's home, and the person who gets the extra point is woo woo, Roseanne. And Mare, you get a point. So Roseanne gets 2. Way to go, Roseanne. And Mare gets a point. Way to go, Mare. Roseanne says, well, she did set off the alarm. Yes, she did. Jen says she had a key. Jen says, I didn't think about that. Laugh out loud. Yeah, she got in, but she said, I couldn't remember the code. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Alex said Barlow had 35 guns in the house, but none of what? A, picture of Branch. B, picture of her. C, picture of any family member. All right. Answers are all in. So they are locked. And we've got an answer for A, picture of Branch. And then we've got 2 answers, C, picture of any family member. And the actual statement she made was Barlow had 35 guns in the house, but not one picture of Branch. So the correct answer is A. And Roseanne, woo woo, that is you, my friend. So you get 2 points. Congratulations. So 1 and 2. All right. Next question is true or false? When Walt brought Alex to the station, Officer Wilkinson let Alex go. True or false? Mare says, woo. Roseanne says, Jen may be right about the key. She was right about the key. Alex had a key to get in the house, but he still set up a security alarm. And so she didn't know the code for the alarm. So she is right. So, I mean, I guess technically she didn't break into it, but when I said broke into it meant because the alarm went off. So I apologize if that was a poor choice of words. All right, all the answers are in. And everyone said true. And of course, the answer is true. He did. He just let her go. And that did not make Walt very happy. And the person who gets the extra point is woo woo, Roseanne. So Jen gets a point. Roseanne gets 2 points. And Mare gets a point. All right, next question is multiple choice. Officer Wilkins and the mayor talked to Walt and Vic because something of Walt's was seen on the res the night of Tucker's murder that made Walt's alibi with Vic seem shady? What was it? A, Walt's suit jacket, B, Walt's footprint, or C, Walt's Bronco? Mare says tricky. I'm sorry. All right. Everyone's answers are in, so let me lock them in. And we've got okay, Mare said B for Walt's footprint, changed it to C, the Bronco. Roseanne said A, Walt's suit jacket. Jen said C, Walt's Bronco. And the only person that gets credit for that answer and gets the extra point is Jen. Because, Mary, I do have to go with your first answer. So Jen gets 2 points for that because it was Walt's Bronco. All right, next question is true or false. Katie came and pulled Walt and Vic from questioning with Officer Wilkins and the mayor for being questioned without legal representation. True or false? Roseanne says yay, Jen. Mayor says yep. Roseanne, answer. All right, everyone is given their answer. Everyone rang in with true, and of course that's true. And the person who'll get the extra point is Roseanne. Good job, my friend. All right, so Jen gets a point, Roseanne gets 2 points, and Mare gets a point. All right, next question is multiple choice. Who called Katie? Was it A, Ferg, B, Ruby, or C, Matthias? All right. Everyone rang in with their answer. Everyone said C for Matthias. That is the correct answer. And the person who gets the extra point is Roseanne. All right, so Jen gets a point. Roseanne gets 2 points. And Mare gets a point. All right, so this next question is not a question. It's a discussion question. And this is about the conversation between Walt and Vic. Walt is basically accusing her of killing Tucker. And Vic goes in to say that it wasn't her. And Walt says, how can you prove it? And she tells him the story of seeing the family and watching them go to the bathroom and come back out. And then she finally felt relief. And the only reason she felt relief is because she was contemplating suicide and she put the gun to her head, but she couldn't pull the trigger. And Walt says, don't ever do that again. So any thoughts y'all want to share about that scene? Jen says that seemed out of character for Vic. I thought so too. Even when she walked out of the RV and it showed her standing there with the gun, just the way she broke down. I mean, You guys, I get it. She's dealing with a great loss of losing the baby. But she never really embraced the pregnancy until she lost the baby. And I just don't see, I've never lost a baby. So I am completely speaking ignorant. But for her character, to me, it just seems like losing the baby would have only strengthened her. It would have given her more of that sass and brass, because she's always been kind of sassy and brassy, and I don't know, it just would have given her more oomph. But instead, we're seeing this kind of weak Vic who's just lost it. I mean, she's always had such a fight in her, and it's like we're seeing nothing, So I agree, Jen. It's almost way out of character for her, and she doesn't ever seem like the one that would give up. And Walt was like, yeah, well, let's not ever do that again. Roseanne says that was scary to see. Yes. I mean, with the show coming to an end, I agree, Roseanne. I thought, oh my gosh, surely this is not how her character is going to go out. But because we were coming to the end of the whole show, I was just like, no. I would be very angry with the writers had they done that. Just simply because, again, her character has always been a feisty little fight. I mean, Matthias even calls her Philly, And yeah, I'd have been mad. Mare says she has daddy issues. He gave her a male name because he wanted a son. Very true. Roseanne says that's right. Mare says she lost her child and does not understand how to deal with it, and sort of does not know how to deal with her own family. This is true. Because if you even remember when the very episode even began, it showed Vic opening her eyes and coming into focus was the little farmer and the little puppy dog, people figuring, Fisher Price toy or whatever from the barnyard. And that scene is what is basically going on between Vic and Walt at that time. And I mean, I do think she's lost. I do think that this one time, this grief is greater than what she knows how to deal with, how to cope with. But I still don't see it breaking her. I don't see it, being what tames her and makes her broken. So, I don't know. Mare says, plus Tucker. Yeah, true that. So, yeah, I had a lot of emotions going through that. So I figured instead of us bringing out questions from that scene, it would be better to discuss it. So, all right, moving on. The next question is true or false. Let me put the little emoji in here. And there's our little choo-choo, our little woot-woot train. All right, true or false? Matthias thinks Walt is innocent of Tucker's murder. True or false? Very true, Mare. Mare says she does not know how to be loved by herself. Very, very true. All right, everyone's rang in with their answers, and everyone said true. And the correct answer is true. Matthias thinks that Walt is innocent. And the person, so everybody gets a point, and the person who gets the extra point is, woo woo, Mare. Congratulations. All right. So Jen gets a point, Roseanne gets a point, and Mare gets 2 points. All right. We're almost finished with this episode. Next question is multiple choice. What book did Walt take off the shelf? This is a bonus question. So if you can tell me the title of the book that Walt took off the shelf, you will get 3 points. Only the person who rings in with the correct answer first. Bonus question. What was the name of the book that Walt took off the shelf? Well, we're waiting for Jen's answer. I'm going to tell you the name of this book is another one of my favorite movie series. And my husband has gotten me the entire collection on DVD. So I've got Mare saying Of Mice and Men, Roseanne saying London's 5, Kiss Me Dove. Jen has question mark. Okay. I'm going to give you some hints. It is considered a Western. One of the big characters in it is, oh, shoot fire. His name just left my head. Oh, my gosh. I just watched him, too, in a rocket ship movie. Oh my gosh. Mare got it. Mare got it. Gosh, he played with Tom Cruise in the car racing movie. He's one of my favorite actors. I cannot believe I cannot think of his name right now. But Mare got it. Jen said The Highwayman. Mare said Lonesome Dove. And Roseanne says, I was typing in the tile in separate line. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. What is his name? No. Oh, gosh. I cannot believe I can't think of his name right now, and he's one of my favorite actors. He played also in Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage. Robert Duvall. So, yes, Mare, you get 3 points. Woot woot for you. That is a definite woot woot train. Woot woot. That was good. Yeah, you had to be paying attention to that. And then Lucian and Walt did talk about it, but 1, 2, 3 points, Mare. Good bonus question. All right. Mare says, woot woot. All right, so there's our little emoji train. That was our bonus question for episode 1. All right, next question is multiple choice. Now who is Walt accusing of Tucker's murder? He's gone from Vic to now who? A, Alan O'Brien, B, Lucian, or C, the new Hector? All right, all the answers are in. And Roseanne said A for Alan O'Brien. And then Jen and Mare said B for Lucian. And yes, it was made to be set up to look like it could have been Alan O'Brien, but the correct answer is B for Lucian. And the correct answer, the extra point goes to Mare. Congratulations. All right, so Jen, you get a point, and Mare, you get 2 points. Way to go. All right, we have 2 questions left, and then I'll give you a point tally. Roseanne says, sneaky again. Mare says, laugh out loud. Jen says, laugh out loud. I don't know who Alan O'Brien is. He was one of the guys that was working for Barlow. And they kind of had like falling out. All right. Next question is true or false. Alan O'Brien did actually kill Tucker. True or false? Y'all should all get this right since we just had our little conversation. And everyone's answers are in. Everyone said false. And of course, false is the correct answer. That it was Lucian who killed Tucker Baggett. And that extra point goes to Roseanne. All right, so Jen gets a point. Roseanne gets 2 points. And Mare gets a point. All right, last question for this episode. Multiple choice. Walt told Lucian that he wouldn't miss his what? A, arrest, B, trial, or C, funeral? All right, all the answers are in, and everybody said C for funeral, and that is the correct answer because, of course, he drew his gun out on Walt, trying to get Walt to shoot him. Walt shot his hand, so instead, Lucian went and ran and jumped over a cliff. All right, a small cliff, but enough that he hit his head on a rock and he was dying. And so, yes, the correct answer is C, funeral, and the person who gets the extra point for our very last question for this episode goes to Roseanne. All right, so Jen ended up with 1 point, and Roseanne has 2 more points, and Mare has 1 point. So, Jen, I have you at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34 points. And Roseanne, you are at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 47 points. And Mare, you are at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You are at 35 points. So way to go, ladies, for that first round. How does everyone feel? Do y'all want to try and push through for our second one? There's not as many questions. In fact, there's like almost half of what we just did. So, good job, Roseanne. That was my question. She says, how are you holding up, Jen? Ready for more? Jen says, wow, I got that many. You did good, my friend. You all did really good. That was a really great round. So, Roseanne says, good job, girls. And Jen says, I don't care. All right, well, then we'll just keep going. All right. Now, Jen and Mare, you guys are neck and neck. Jen, you have 34 points. Mare at 35. Roseanne at 47. I will say I have a couple of bonus questions in this one. So there's some chance for catch up, but remember, it's not so much about who wins now, but who wins in total in 3 weeks, 2 weeks from today. All right. First question is an actual bonus question. So are y'all ready? You got your thinking caps on? Jen says, not great. Jen says, I still don't remember everything. Jen says, laugh out loud. All right, there's our emoji. All right, so this is a bonus question worth 3 points to the first person who comes in with the correct answer. This is right off the bat opening up this episode, and the episode title is No Greater Character Endorsement. All right, so here we go. Here's the question. Walt said he was not going to spend the rest of his career doing what? He was not going to spend the rest of his career doing what? Those are good answers, but they are not the correct one. Mare says being sheriff. Jen says fighting. And Roseanne says, I will tell you, out of all the responses, Jen, you are the closest. But the word is not fighting. He's not going to spend the rest of his career doing something for his career. That's a hint. That's a clue. He's not going to spend the rest of his career doing something for his career. Roseanne says being the sheriff. Nope. It's an action. Roseanne says, oh. He's not going to spend the rest of his career doing something for his career. The something is one word. Mare says campaigning. Jen says debating. Nope, but I will tell you that it does start with D like debating. Mare says politics. Nope. He's on trial. He told Vic he was not going to spend the rest of his career. And there it is. We have a winner. Ding, ding, ding. Woo, woo, Mare. Congratulations. He was not going to spend the rest of his career defending his career. Yes, ma'am. You did it. All right. So there you go. 3 points to start off that round for you. Granted, I'm saying 3 points, but it's, it's a matter of all your points together, like carry over. So that now, like for say, takes you to 38 points. So Jen says, Mare. Roseanne says, yay, Mare. Mare says, cool. Yeah, that was a tough one. She worked for that one. She earned those 3 points. You all worked hard for that one. All right. Multiple choice. Fur got called for a complaint on what? A, domestic violence, B, noise violation, or C, theft. All right, and all the answers are in. Everybody rang in with B for a noise violation. That is the correct answer. And the person, so everyone gets a point. The person who gets the extra point is whoop, whoop, Roseanne. All right. So Jen gets a point. Roseanne gets 2 points. And Mare gets a point. All right. Next question is true or false. Katie asked Jacob to show mercy in court towards her father. True or false? All right, everyone's rang in with their answer. Everyone said true. That is the correct answer. So everyone gets a point. And the person who gets the extra point is whoop whoop, Jen. Good job. All right. So Jen gets 2 points. And Roseanne gets a point. And Mare gets a point. Way to go. All right, next question is multiple choice. Katie told Jacob that his testimony could help save what for Walt? Is it A, his job and his home, B, his reputation and his job, or C, his job and his life? Okay, Mare, there's 2 answers in each of those. Gotcha. All right. So we've got an answer for A, B, and C. And the correct answer, all the answers are in. The correct answer obviously goes to one of y'all, and you get both points. And that person is whoop, whoop, Roseanne. It was his job and his home, because she was telling Jacob that the judge and the lawyer, Tucker, and were after Walt's land to bring in a larger development. They want to, destroy his home and bring in a larger development. So they're kind of teaming up against Walt. And Jacob's testimony would help save Walt's job as sheriff and his home. So way to go, Roseanne. Good job. All right. Next question is multiple choice. How many arrows were found in the victim, Ian Whitmore? Was it A, 8 arrows, B, 16 arrows, or C, 24 arrows? Mare says, whoop, whoop, Roseanne. And answers are in. Everyone answered B for 16 arrows. That is the correct answer. So everyone gets a point. And the person who gets the extra point is Roseanne. All right. So Jen gets a point. Roseanne gets 2 points. And Mare gets a point. Way to go. All right, true or false? The words Hector lives was etched out on the victim's leg. True or false? Roseanne has a smiley face emoji. All right, everyone's answers are in. Everyone said false, and that is correct. It was etched out on his back. So everyone gets a point, and the person who gets the extra point is Jen. Congratulations. So Jen gets 2 points, Roseanne gets 1, and Mare gets 1. All right, next question is multiple choice. What did Ferg say was missing on Ian, the victim? Was it A, a finger, B, an ear, or C, his teeth? All right, answers are all in, and we have 2 answers for B, his ear, and 1 answer for C, his teeth. One of those is the correct answer. And so the person who gets the extra point is Jen, because it was C, his teeth were missing. So Jen gets 2 points. And that's it. Roseanne says, yay, Jen. Good job, Jen. All right, next question is multiple choice. Katori Long, a 6th grade teacher, talked to Katie about health insurance for a student who has what? A, bubonic plague, B, scarlet fever, or C, pneumonia? All right. Everyone has rang in with B for scarlet fever. That is the correct answer. And the person who gets the extra point is Jen. Way to go. All right, so Jen gets 2 points. Roseanne gets a point, and Mare gets a point. All right. My next 2 questions are bonus questions. Are you ready? Mare says Jen is on the train. Yes, she is. All right. So both of these questions will be worth 3 points to the one person who comes in with the correct answer first. All right. The first question is, Katori Long is a 6th grade teacher at an elementary school, obviously 6th grade. What was the name of the elementary school? Mare says Res. Nope. It does start with an R. I will give you that clue. Roseanne says her brother's name. Nope. It is, here's the next clue. It is 2 words that make up 1 word. Roseanne says red rock. Okay? The first part of that is correct. It is red something. Good job, Roseanne. That's a good guess. Red horse. Nope, that's not quite it. Red Indian? Nope. Another good guess. All right. The next clue is the second word that you're looking for to go with red is a type of beverage. A type of beverage. Jen said Red Pony. Nope. Roseanne said Red Bull. Nope. Mary says Red Whiskey. It's a good answer, but nope. But you're close. It starts with a W. Red Milk. Nope. Red Pop. Nope. Red Wine. Good job, but nope. You're getting close, though. Mary says Red Wine. Nope. We have an answer. Woo woo! Roseanne, yes, Redwater Elementary School. Roseanne gets those 3 points. You worked hard for those 3 points. Good job. Way to go. Okay. I have another bonus question. It was mentioned and it was on the mailbox. All right. Brady Dukes called in the noise complaint. Roseanne says, phew. Mary says, congratulations. Jen says, wow. All right. What was the name of the road that Brady Dukes lives on? He was the person who called in the noise complaint on his neighbor. Do you remember what the name of the road was? They mentioned it actually twice, and it was written on the mailbox. And actually, I think it was on the screen that Ferg pulled up when he was trying to see who called in the call. Jen says, no, I don't. Roseanne says, White House. Nope, it's actually one word. It has 6 letters, and it starts with the letter S. S as in Sam. Jen says saddle. Roseanne says sparse. Nope. Stores. Sparrow. Sheep. Mare says sparrow. Roseanne says sheep. Nope. It's a tough one. Another clue. Oh gosh, good answers. Jen says stones. Mare says spade. Jen says slaves. Roseanne says stack. I'm going to tell you what, I'm having fun with the bonus questions. Just saying. Okay, so the next clue is it rhymes with a man's name that starts with M. Especially if you don't remember what we're talking about, Jen says. Mary says shack. Oh, that's a good one. Spike, good guess, Roseanne, but no. It's got 6 letters in it. It starts with an S. It rhymes with a man's name that starts with an M. Roseanne says spike. Spikes. Mare says shaken. Jen says sparks. Oh, that was a good one, Jen, but that is not it. Mare says spiked. Nope. All right. I'm going to give you the second letter. So it's S-A. Steve's, says Roseanne. Nope. Roseanne says Sandy's. I'll tell you what, whoever gets these points is going to really earn them. Y'all, all three are working very hard. Roseanne says Sandy's. Sandal. Nope. Saddle. That's a good one, but no. All right. Like I said, it's tough. It's tough. All right. Third letter. All right, Mare, you are the closest. You're very close. Let me tell you something. You've got the first, second, and last letter right. She said Sadden, S-A-D-D-E-N. All right. So again, let's go over our clues. It starts with an S. It has 6 letters. We now know that the first letter is S, the second letter is A, and the 6th letter is N. It rhymes with a man's name that starts with M. Mary says Sadden. I will now tell you, Mare, you have the first, second, 5th, and 6th letter correct. So you need to change the D's to something else. Roseanne says Sandman. Nope. Sorry, I'm trying to read the lowercase. S-A-T-T-I-N. Okay, Jen, you are now the closest with the satin, which I think is what Mare had too. I'm trying to read that smaller letter. All right, so Mare and Jen, you are 1 letter off from having the correct answer. Your 3rd letter is incorrect. Jen, you're getting closer. It's not an L. Mare got it. Mare got it. Sartin. S-A-R-T-I-N was the name of the street. Whew. That was fun, though. At least for me it was. I hope it was fun for y'all. That was challenging. That was tough. I told you it was tough. Congratulations, Mare. Congratulations to all of you. That was a lot of great effort. But Mayor gets those 3 points. 1, 2, and 3. Jen says that's too much. Laugh out loud. Roseanne says Mayor. Mayor says tough. Oh, that was fun. I enjoyed that myself. Okay. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Who did Ferg find at Brady Duke's house? Was it A, Donna, B, Malachi, or C, Zach? Mayor says laugh out loud. Jen says that's worth more than 3 points. Mayor says a boy worked hard for those points. Roseanne says it was fun. Sweet. All right, Lancers. Answers are locked in, and everyone said C for Zach. That is the correct answer. So everyone gets a point, and the person who gets the extra point is Roseanne. Congratulations. So Jen gets a point, and Roseanne gets 2 points, and Mayor gets a point. All right. Next question is true or false. Tate is the little boy who's sick with scarlet fever. Tate's family refused help to have Tate admitted to the hospital for care. True or false? Mayor says Roseanne is fast. All right. Everyone's answers are in. Everyone said T for true. That is the correct answer. And the person who gets the extra point is Jen. Congratulations. All right. 1, 2, 1 for Roseanne, and 1 for Mayor. All right. The next question is multiple choice. I dropped my hook. There it is. What did they say the reason was for not getting him medical help? Was it A, financial, B, religious, or C, historic? All the years working in an office, says Roseanne. All right. Everyone's answers are in. Sorry, trying to pick my crochet hook up with my feet, and I did it. Yay. All right. Locking those answers in. And we've got B for religious, and then 2 answers for C for historic. One of those is the correct answer. And so the correct answer goes to Roseanne and Jen for C for historic. And the person who gets that extra point is Roseanne. Congratulations. All right. So Jen gets a point and Roseanne gets 2 points. All right. Next one is multiple choice. Who did the red Camaro out front of Ian's house belong to? Was it A, Darius, B, Malachi, or C, Ian's drug partner? All right, answers are what? Mayor says, I still think B was right. They specifically said historic. The father of the little boy said that they refused medicine from the Western white man, or Western medicine from the white man, because of historic reasons. So that's what was specifically said. All right, Mayor says Ferg, and I'm not really sure what that answer was for. All right. So we've got A and C listed as answers, and the correct answer is C, going to Jen and Mayor, and the person who gets the extra point is Jen. Congratulations. So Jen gets 2 points and Mayor gets a point. Way to go. All right, next one is multiple choice. Where did Henry find the silver suburban vehicle that he thought they were looking for? A, the res, B, a motel, or C, the red pony? Mayor says, I know historically the white didn't believe the Indian medicine was right. That is true, Mayor. But that is what the actual Indian father did say, was historically. All right, answers are in. Oops, my emoji's not there though. There's my emoji. All right, we have A and C given as the correct answers. And the correct answer is C and goes to Roseanne and Jen. And the person who gets the extra point is Roseanne. Congratulations. All right. So Jen gets a point and Roseanne gets 2 points. All right. Next question is also multiple choice. Who was at the red pony? A, Darius, B, Agent Decker, or C, Jacob? All right, all the answers are in. Everyone said B for Agent Decker, and that is correct. And the extra point goes to Roseanne. All right, so Jen gets a point. Roseanne gets 2 points, and Mayor gets a point. All right, next question is true or false? Walt thinks that the new Hector is Darius. True or false? Walt thinks that the new Hector is Darius. True or false? All right, all the answers are in. Everyone rang in with true, and that is correct. And the person who gets the extra point is Roseanne. All right, so Jen gets a point, Roseanne gets 2 points, and Mayor gets a point. All right. The next one is multiple choice. Now, the title of this episode is called No Greater Character Endorsement. So the question is, the title No Greater Character Endorsement referred to whom in this episode? Is it A, Walt Longmire, B, Tucker Baggett, or C, Katori Long? All right, all the answers are in. I have two answers for A, Walt Longmire, and one answer for B, Tucker Baggett. And the correct answer is C, Katori Long. Katie came to Henry to ask for kind of a reference on Katori because she'd already fallen once for representing someone bad on the res. So she didn't want to make the same mistake again. And Henry responded that Katori, that there was no greater character endorsed than Katori, that she had gone to school, come back to teach on the res, and had a passion for teaching their kids. And so that title of the episode came from Henry referencing Katori. So nobody gets a point on that one. Roseanne says, wow. Mary says, wow, I forgot that part. Yep. Okay. All right. Next one is multiple choice. Oh, I've already given you the answer. So let's see who the fastest fingered great listener is. Who spoke this about Katori? Was it A, Jacob Nighthorse, B, Henry, or C, Katie? Mayor, that N is by B, so I am going to take that. Yes, everyone's rang in with B. B is the correct answer. It was indeed Henry. So everybody gets a point, but the person who gets the extra point is Jen. Woo woo! All right, so Jen gets 2 points, Roseanne gets a point, and Mayor gets a point. All right, next one is also multiple choice. Which juror wrote a note to the judge? Was it A, juror number 2, B, juror number 7, or C, juror number 12? Excuse me. We have 6 questions after this. All right, answers are all in. Let me lock those answers in. And we've got an answer for B7, juror number 7, and 2 answers for C, juror number 12. And the correct answer is C, juror number 12. And the person who gets the extra point is Roseanne. All right. So Jen gets a point and Roseanne gets 2 points. All right, next question is true or false. Jacob told the court that Walt was an honorable man. True or false? Jacob Nighthorse told the court that Walt Longmire was an honorable man. All right, answers are all in. Everyone rang in with true. That is the correct answer, so everyone gets a point. And the person who gets the extra point is Roseanne. Woo woo! All right, so Jen gets a point, Roseanne gets 2 points, and Mare gets a point. All right. The next one is a discussion question. All right. The juror sent over questions about Barlow, and then Jacob began actually defending Walt and saying that he knew nothing about Barlow's involvement in the casino, and both lawyers started questioning that, and he said, oh yeah, I've got text message or emails. So there was just kind of a lot going on there, so I figured we would just kind of talk about that scene. And then the question I have for you is, do you think that Jacob did all of that because Katie talked to him? Or do you think he did that because, in spite of Walt always attacking him, he truly feels like Walt is an honorable man? I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that. Roseanne says, on fire. Yes, ma'am, you are. And Mare says, smoking. I do that. I'm thinking, gosh, that looks like a gun. But you know, on The Mask, remember when Jim Carrey would be like, smoking. Anyway, that's where that comes from. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, though. My kids used to love that movie. I used to say it must have been a boy thing. It was a good movie, but not one that I'd watch over and over. My husband's probably, if he's in there listening, going, what? Because he liked it too. Roseanne says both, talking about Jacob's, response, that he probably did it partly because Katie talked to him, and then also because of what he truly believes. But anyway, but my thing is, I mean, not that I've ever been in a lot of court sessions, and of all the times I've gone, I've never been chosen but one time to be a juror. And after I sat there for 3 hours, they came in and said that the client decided to settle out of court. So I still never got to be an actual juror. But are jurors allowed to actually send questions to the judge like that? Are they allowed to actually have a note passed over and ask the question of judge? I mean, have y'all ever served on a jury? And I mean, is that even possible? Mare says he truly feels Walt is honorable, and Jacob will do whatever he can to help his people succeed. I do agree with that. Mare says yes. Jen says yes, I believe. Huh. See, I don't know, because I've never been successfully chosen but that one time, and yet I still didn't serve as a juror. But anyway, Mare says she has once. Okay. So, because, I mean, movies can, they can do what they want to do, but I don't know if legitimately that could ever really be done. So, all right, moving on. Next one is a multiple choice question. And it says, Rusty was found where? Now, remember, Rusty was beaten up by the new Hector, and they went to his house and didn't find him, but they found like cigarettes and his drugs all laying around. And so it was almost as if it appeared he was afraid to come home. Walt called that out. So anyway, they finally found him, and Jen says, I've only served on a grand jury. Ooh, wow. That's a big, big jury. All right. So the question is, Rusty was found where? A, in a dollhouse, B, in a doghouse, or C, in a tent? Oh, Jen says no, not big. I thought a grand jury was a big type case. All right, answers are in. And we've got A and C given for dollhouse and tent. The correct answer has been given by Roseanne and Mayor. It was a dollhouse. And the extra point goes to Roseanne. Congratulations. So Roseanne gets 2 points and Mayor gets 1 point. All right. Next question is multiple choice. At what age did Jacob say he was taken from his home? Was it A, 5 years old, B, 7 years old, or C, 9 years old? Okay, Jen says, we only had to decide if they should go after criminals. Gotcha. All right, all the answers are in. And I've got A, B, and C given. So obviously one of you are right and gets the 2 points. And that person is I'm sorry, I had to tease a little bit. It's Jen. You get it because he was 7 years old, B. So 2 points for Jen. Way to go. All right. I believe we have 2 questions left. And we do. You guys, we made it. We did it. All right. We got a true and false question, and then we have a multiple choice. All right, true and false. Walt took the settlement that was offered for $250,000 fine. True or false? Mayor says, congratulations. Roseanne says, yay, Jen. All right. All the answers are in. And we've got true and false given. The correct answer is false. He did not accept it, and that extra point goes to Roseanne. So Roseanne, you get 2 points. Jen gets 1 point. And in the end, the case got dropped. So the case is over. Walt is a free man. He's still sheriff. He still has his home. And the last question is multiple choice. Walt and his lawyer are standing out on his porch watching the other lawyer walk away, where he's just dropped the entire case. And Walt's lawyer asked him what he was going to do, and what did Walt say? A, he was going to go buy a cell phone. B, retire and take a long nap. Or C, go to work. Answers are all in. And y'all know that Walt Longmire is not going to buy a cell phone. So, of course, it was not A. and Walt Longmire retire and take a long nap? Yeah. Of course, the answer is C. He's going to go to work. So everybody gets a point, and the extra point goes to Roseanne. Woo, woo! All right, so Jen gets a point. Roseanne gets 2 points, and Mare gets a point. So let's see what our final score is for tonight. And this will be the score that you will start with next week. All right, so Jen has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 61 points is what Jen ended up with for the night. Roseanne ended up with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 81 points. And Mare ended up with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 points. So way to go, ladies. So that's the amount of points that you will start off with next week. Now, I have a question. Just because I enjoy them, you are the guys. You are the ones who are playing for it and having to work for it. So, a poll. Mare says, smoking hot, Roseanne. Yes. Roseanne says, great job, girls. This was fun. It was fun. And Mare says, wow, 81 points. Yes. Roseanne, you did a good job. I do love the fact that we're doing this in a way that everyone with the correct answer gets a point. The person who rings in first gets the extra point. And I do love the bonus questions. And that's my question. Do y'all like Mare says, see, Jen, I had complete faith in your ability to hit it. Roseanne says, thank you. Jen says, I'm glad this is over. I'm going to have to pay better attention next time. Sheesh. Well, it wasn't fair because you guys all watched the episodes ready for last Friday. And then, I had to go and do this darn thing and get sick. And I'm so sorry. So, that wasn't fair to y'all. So, because if you're anything like me, I have to do things while they're fresh in my head. But it's funny how certain things can stay with me, Like, I am enjoying Longmire a lot. But certain facts, if I don't have them written down, I don't remember. But this Vampire Diaries, like I am, and I don't know, maybe it's because with Longmire, we only watch 2 episodes every 7 days. And then with the Vampire Diaries, I might watch 7 episodes a day. So it makes a big difference. But because I remember a lot more about it. But anyway, so, all right. So my question is, my question. Roseanne says, yes, especially those sneaky questions. Jen says, Mare, I'm in the caboose alone, not connected to any engine. What? You still did pretty good. Mare says, I love the bonus questions because those I mostly got those right. Well, that's my question. Jen says, don't apologize. It's all good. Roseanne says, you did great with the bonus questions, Mare. Yes, she really did. So that's my question. Did you like the bonus questions? And do you want those to keep happening? So let me know. I don't want a ton of them because, the whole point was to get away from being able to have to write a bunch of stuff. But anyway, I did have fun with those. And like the street one, I was not even going to bring any of that up into any of the play. But the fact that they kept showing it, I was like, oh, I got to throw it in there as a bonus question. So anyway, Roseanne says yes. She really liked the bonus questions. Okay. So, and I'm going to do everything possible to give clues and hints if nobody knows it. So until somebody gets it, like the street. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to come out and say Martin. His name, the male name is Martin. With the hints, of course. Yes, Roseanne. But, oh my gosh. So let's talk a minute. 4 episodes left. All right. So, whew, we can breathe a big sigh of relief. The trial is completely over. That is completely behind Walt. So we think, right? I hope so. I mean, clearly, Jacob had these emails that would clearly clear Walt's name. So, I mean, at first, that new lawyer tried to, get something out of it and tried to fine Walt for what the original settlement was, which was the money that the state would pay for him. And then his lawyer was like, oh, no, 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 no. If they're willing to go to a settlement and not even have a trial, then there must have been something audaciously good in those emails. And then, of course, we see the scene where he's walking off and the lawyer saying to Walt, can't believe he just dropped the whole case. So, but what a relief that that's behind us. Let's talk about Katie for a minute and this case with the teacher. Do you think she's doing the right thing to fight this family against their belief of getting their child medicine and antibiotics? Do you think she's doing the right thing, taking it to court and trying to go before the tribal council? Mayor says, with Speedy, Roseanne, and Jen being right most of the time, I need bonus questions. Mayor says, that's a hard call. It is a hard call because, I mean, ultimately, as it is, parents today do not have as much rights over their children that even I did raising my kids and my parents did when raising us. Like, I mean, the slightest little move and someone else can dictate your parental rights. And it's scary. But you know your child best. I'm going to be honest. My middle son, he had an ED disability growing up, which is an emotional disability. And they put him on Ritalin. And I had this, yes, it was frustrating at times, but I had this boy that went from laughing and giggling and bouncing off the walls to a literal robot. I'd ask a question and it was, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'd say, go get your school books off the table so I can set it for dinner. And he'd immediately get up and go do it. Well, part of that was good. I'm not saying that I don't want that I'd rather have the child who says, well, in a minute, or I don't feel like it. No, but what I'm saying is his personality. He was being robbed of his personality. This medication was changing who he was. And I would rather have this rambunctious, energetic, sometimes defiant child than to have this robotic child. But we're talking about a mannerism. where they're talking about scarlet fever, life and death, you know? So, I mean, in the end, I chose to pull him off of that Ritalin. I chose. If it were up to the doctors, he would have stayed on it. And I felt like he would have missed life. He would have missed, you know, truly being passionate about things that he was passionate about. And so I made that choice. And in the end, it was the right and the correct choice for him. So as parents, we kind of should know our kids better than other people. But do they know enough about scarlet fever to fight it with, what did he say? You know, fluids and soup and Tylenol. Roseanne says no, because it's like what Jacob asked. So, you know, for sure the child is going to die or not. Right. And that was very good. I was happy that somebody did ask that question. Of course, Katie came back, says, well, not any more than that, you know, he won't die. Mary says she got the antibiotics and returned the child thinking she did a good thing. What? Well, that's going ahead, Mary. Don't tell us. Jen says that's a normal kid. Right, right. Jen says we shouldn't be punished for punishing our kids in public either. Oh, absolutely not. Someone who is doing it the right way, who's speaking correctly to their child, oh no, I will praise them up and down one side or the other. Someone who doesn't really talk to their child and just smacks them around, oh, I am a very calm person. But you let me see somebody smack a child or an elderly person who doesn't know right from wrong or hasn't been properly taught. Yeah, I'm all for kids that throw temper tantrums, that needs to be stopped. But if they've never been taught, you have to take a step back and not necessarily hold them 100% accountable, because they can't correct what they don't know, not, you know, needs to be corrected. So I agree, Jen. But I also believe there's a time and a place, especially the age of the child. Younger children don't tend to remember things 10 minutes down the road, you know, where older children, you know, you can talk to them at a different time. You can say, this is going to be held for a later discussion. So I don't know. What else we got going on? Vic, you think she's going to be okay? I do. I think the moment that she decided to come into work and help fight to prove that Walt was innocent on Tucker, I think she was getting herself back. That fight was there. She was ready for a fight. Jen says, just wait till your father gets home. I know. I felt like my mother was more the disciplinarian, and with my boys, I was definitely more the disciplinarian. If I told my boys to wait until their father got home, they would be happy because they'd get to stay up and they hardly got to see him. So, yeah, it wouldn't have the same effect. But you're right. A lot of people do say that. And for some, oh my gosh, they don't want daddy to come home if that's the case. Mara says, I had the same issue with my son who had ADHD. He took medication for a short period. My husband didn't want medication, but I was either going to be put on drugs or my son was. Yes. So with Jonathan's ED, he did have ADHD, and you're right. It's a handful. I went out on a limb and trusted something way beyond what my imagination could comprehend. I had some neighbors who went to a natural doctor for things, and they begged me to give him a try. And I mean, I had my faith more in, I guess, what you call Western, medication and my intuition. And they're like, we'll pay for it. We'll pay for it. And so I agreed to give it a short trial. And I will admit that some of the natural stuff that he went on did help him and it didn't harm him. And, but in time, I mean, the doctors told us at a young age that the biggest thing we could do for him is to be consistent and be firm and not let his disability label him. And we didn't. And he eventually came out of IEPs and into regular classes, and he graduated. And I mean, he didn't graduate dumb. He didn't graduate smart. But I'll tell you what, I mean, he's doing pretty good in the Marines, and he's already, in the time he's been at Arizona, he's already received, I can't think of what it's called, but he's received 2. I don't want to say promotions because they're not promotions. Yeah, kind of an advancement. But anyway, so he's definitely making me very proud. I do know that all the hard work that it took to raise Jonathan has paid off. But it did come with some consequences for my oldest son and my youngest son. And sometimes my oldest son has a little bit of resentment, and I get it. I understand. Some of his childhood was robbed because he had to grow up a little bit faster. He had to help be responsible for his younger brother while I was being challenged with Jonathan's issues. But in the end, I will not trade ever taking him off of that medication. Not ever. So, but I also think it's a by need basis. And I think it also depends on the individual. Had he been a different child, a different, disorder or personality, it might have been something completely different. And I would have had to completely rely on medication all the time. So, but in the end, I found the most productive thing with my kids especially at that time, being a single mom, I found that creating a chore chart. So, and I did it with pictures and Velcro so that they could easily remove pieces on their own, and then they could be responsible for getting things done throughout the day. And they moved their little pieces along a line from start to finish, morning to night. And as they did each little thing that they were supposed to do, they got to move their little man. And when their little man got to the bottom, there were rewards. And maybe it was they got to take their bath first, or they got to take their bath last, because both of those were great spots. First, if you wanted to get it done and over with. Last, if you wanted a little bit more extra video time while the other brothers were doing something else. It eventually earned them things like, for my boys, it was huge to get to stay up a little bit later than the others, so they could earn time and gain an extra 10 minutes on a school night, or an extra half hour or hour on a weekend. And so I found that to be more effective. I didn't have to argue with them as much. I didn't have to fight with them. They knew what to expect, and y'all are going to laugh at this. But one night, one of them tested me, said they had brushed their teeth. And I was like, oh, okay, well, good for you. So then you won't mind coming over and letting me smell your breath. I never had to smell their breath. They just turned around and said, I'll be right back. And I could hear the little electric toothbrush going. The fighting, it just helps so much. So chore charts, I'm really big on chore charts for kids. And even when little Violet comes over, there'll be one for her if she's staying the night, making sure she brushes her teeth, et cetera, et cetera. But it won't be the same as if she were at home. And I hope that's something that her parents will consider, helping her. And I do. I believe it helped my kids become more independent and more confident. And I can even remember them helping each other out to get their chore charts done so that sometimes they could earn some of the same rewards. So, all right, let me see what you guys are saying. All right, Jen says, I was the bad guy and both my husbands were their buddies. Yes. However, I will tell you, the greatest reward in that is when it comes to advice and decisions, they come to me a lot. And so that has a lot of reward in it. I may not still always have the answers, especially in their adult lives, but, they knew who the rock solid person was. Roseanne says, do you think that Vic is seeing Walt as the father figure now since the loving feelings have changed? I do, Roseanne, and good way to bring that back around. I do, especially when it opened up in the beginning of episode 5, and she asked him, are you scared? It wasn't, I mean, it just, and even like when she finally got herself together and went into work, and Berg was like, you shouldn't be here. And she's like, I gotta be. Yes, I think she was out to protect her mentor, so to speak. And I don't know, she also seems to be more grounded and not so hot-headed, not so invincible. And I think that's a big key right there. Before she lost the baby, I think she kind of felt invincible. But after losing the baby, I think it really grounded her and made her realize that she couldn't be just so loosey-goosey and so hot-headed and on the seat of her, on the edge of her pants or whatever, in her decision making, that there are consequences for our decisions. And I mean, that's something that some adults still don't learn well up into age. They still think that they're invincible and that there's not consequences for the things that they do. And so I do, Roseanne. Mare says, I had my son in every activity to use up that energy, but nothing was working for us. I was dealing with my husband. Yes, you definitely had your hands full, Mare, for sure. And like I said, every child is different. I was very fortunate. I mean, Jonathan, my oldest son and I talked about this a little bit the other day, but I mean, Jonathan was a challenge, and it was hard sometimes because after dealing with him and fighting to get homework done, I almost sometimes didn't have energy for the other boys. But I had to dig my heels in and find it because it was just as important. If they were going to support me and help me when Jonathan had his tantrums, then they needed to know that they were just as valuable and just as important. And unfortunately, that's still something my oldest son, he's much better now, but he struggled with for a long time, was feeling like it was always Jonathan, always Jonathan. And I had to always tell him how lucky I was to have such a smart, intelligent, kind, caring young man for a son, and that he was an amazing big brother. And I mean, I really don't know where I would have been at times without my oldest son in dealing with my middle son. Yes, life changed drastically for us when Todd stepped into the picture, but before then it was tough. But I was very fortunate that my boys had similar desires and passions. And so, working up to go to the zoo to see the dinosaur exhibit was astounding. It had a huge hold over them behaving. I told you that we used to play games and read stories every night. Well, we played games on Fridays, read stories, a chapter every night. Being able to read 2 chapters in one night, I mean, I could almost get my kids to do anything I wanted, I mean, baths were done with no arguments, Well, if everybody gets their homework done before dinner, and mommy can get dinner cleaned up and whatnot, and we can get baths done, we might get 2 chapters in on that dinosaur book we're reading or that Magic Treehouse book we're reading. You guys, it was unbelievable. So I was very, very fortunate in that way. I had things that were free and easy. You could go to the library and get books. And I mean, the only thing it cost you was the gas to go there and back, And I was very fortunate that my boys were very big on books and being read to. But then I had to be careful that they were learning to read versus being read to. But I did like it when they started reading and to hear them come up with the different voices and stuff in the books. But anyway, all right. Roseanne says that's perfect for you the way he is. It was a challenge though, but I worried for a long time about his future. I was afraid he would never graduate and be able to gain a diploma or get a degree if he wanted to try and go to school. I felt like college was never going to be an issue an opportunity for him. And not only is it going to be an opportunity, but I mean, the government's going to pay for it, and I mean, it does amaze me sometimes when I hear him talk, how eloquent he is, and just now things that were such a struggle to teach him, like math and English, that he just excels in it right now. And it's like he listened, he did obtain, but it just was a battle getting it out of him. And now I sit back and watching him exceed in leadership positions and excel, and oh my gosh, it is very rewarding, to finally feel my kid's going to be okay, like that would probably be the one kid that would take care of Todd and I if something happened to us. And yeah. Mare says, eventually my son learned to deal with it. My son was high functioning. He got either A's or D's, nothing in between. Wow. That was challenging though. We got him into karate which he loved, and that helped him learn more and some patience. Absolutely. And discipline. Discipline is in structure, and his place. He felt like he had a place. He belonged. So confidence probably was high too. Mary says, my son loved to argue, so we put him into debate, which he loved. So you helped him take something and make it a strength. That, to me, is profoundly amazing. And that's what parenting is about. Jen says, I still have one that doesn't come to me for anything. And that's tough. As moms, we want our kids to always feel like they can come to us. And when we know they're struggling with something and we just can't help them and we've got to be patient, that is tough. Tough. And that's why as women, we have to be there for one another. We're so quick to tear each other down, and yet we need to be there for each other, because nobody has the book with the answers in it. And the Bible, I know it's the book and it has answers, but in that moment when you feel so overwhelmed and so alone, that's where we have to come together and encourage one another. Mare says, Jen, family dynamics are all unique and nothing is perfect. Oh my gosh. You know what? On American Idol the other night, Katie told a guy, because at the very end, Hunter forgot the words to his song, and he just broke down in emotion because he wants this so badly. And she said, perfection is just an illusion. And that's so true. But when you're true to yourself and you are who you are, she said, that's when perfection soars. Well, nothing is perfect. And Mare, you are so right and so encouraging to share that with Jen, because there is no family dynamic that is perfect. None. You have some people who are afraid to use the word dysfunctional. I come from a dysfunctional family. It took me a long time to accept the fact that not only do I come from a dysfunctional family, not only is my very own family sadly dysfunctional, we all, every single one of us, come from a dysfunctional family, because nobody's perfect. Nobody. And this is why our world needs to stop judging one another and start loving one another and embracing one another. But yet, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and more people want to devour one another in order to gain and get ahead. And that's not how we obtain it. But society has us believing that that's how we obtain it. And that's why words like lurking, subscribers bothers me. Because nobody lurks on my channel. Everybody's welcome. And people are more than just a subscriber. And that's why I don't want to misinterpret somebody's name, because each individual is important. Whew. Wow, this went deep. Mare says, I only have one and he still isn't independent. I still worry if anything happens to me, how he will manage. And then Mare says, I totally agree. Jen says, I don't think I'll ever have him in my life because my ex's family lied to my boys and told them I was the bad one, and he believes that. What is to be gained? I know it's tough, and I know it hurts. Mayor says, keep an open mind. He may come around. I believe that actions speak louder than words. I know we grew up on that and it's a saying, but I believe it. I believe that actions speak louder than words. You know, if somebody says, oh, they're an angry person, they're mean, and even if they believe that, but when something happens and you should get angry and you don't, you're calm, you don't hurt people's feelings or do anything to physically hurt them, it makes them stop and question. I'm not going to share names, but I'm going to give you an example. The same neighbor who helped me out with my son, who became friends with me, who call themselves a Christian, and they are. And part of the reason I'm going to be careful with this story is because this person has done some soul searching and is doing amazing things right now, and I miss them. But there came a point in time in our lives that she ended up needing a job change. And I recommended her to the hotel I was working at. And at that point, I'd been there like maybe 6 years. And to keep the story short, I had a good rapport with the employees. And we laughed. We held devotions in my office bright and early in the morning for anyone who wanted to come. No one was forced to come. It just started. I was seen doing my devotion at my desk in my office, and eventually a couple started coming, and then before long I had others that were there till we had a room full. This person struggled with getting along with coworkers and whatnot in all their other jobs, and before long, this person started talking bad about me and saying things and sharing some of my family's vulnerable and intimate details, like with my son and his disability and things that we'd gone through and whatnot, some of his poor decisions. And eventually, these people started listening, and then they started treating me differently. And yes, it hurt my feelings and at times brought me extremely way down low. But you see, I had a choice to make because I knew who I was. And I chose to continue being me. And this went on for about a year. And that's hard. That's hard to go into a job that you love, people loved you, and all of a sudden you're kind of like shut out and people are whispering and talking about you. She began to do things with some of these people that I used to do things with outside of the job. And one of them, she started going to the YMCA with. And every time they'd go to do workout at the pool or in the gym, all she wanted to do was talk about me and talk ugly about me. And finally, this girl turned around and says, look, we're not at the job. We're here. We're trying to work out. So let's work out. And then eventually it became, you know what? All you do is talk about Cynthia. What is your deal with Cynthia? And then it began to weigh on them, and they began to see that the person she was describing me to be was not the person I was acting out. When they knew that I knew that they were talking about me and laughing at me, I would still smile at them and I still would go, good morning, even though I might go in my office and get choked up. But they didn't see that. They still saw me coming in, good morning, everyone. You know, how did the night go last night, to the person getting off shift? And, I still was me. And eventually, those people started realizing that what she was saying was not true. And they began to turn on her. And then I had another choice to make, because they were coming to me and apologizing. And I could either accept it and suck it in, or realize that the problem is still not solved. And clearly there was something going on in her life that even when we were good friends, she was not sharing. And that's what had caused her to behave that way. And sure enough, she ended up going to another country and doing missionary work, and was humbled and found herself. And you guys, she is now once again that beautiful, loving, gifted, amazing woman that I once knew. But it's tough to not be accepted. It's tough to watch our kids not be accepted. And bullying doesn't just happen with kids. Bullying happens even more so, I think, with adults. We just don't always recognize it. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect, because please do not think that. There are times that I literally would come home and just cry and hate my life, and sometimes ask God why I had to stay. And it was hard on my husband. It was hard on my family. And sometimes I just kept it inside and they didn't even understand what was going on. So don't look at me as being perfect, because I'm not. But I had to look outside of myself and my own feelings to realize and recognize that there was something wrong with that person. And I knew that there was no way I could get through to her, because after all, she was slandering me. So I began to pray. And even when I'd walk by her, because remember, we never broke from being friends. It's just one day, all of a sudden, this stuff started happening. I still smiled at her. I still said good morning to her. If I saw her out in the yard, I spoke. I didn't treat her any different. Yet inside, I'm screaming, why me? What did I do? And you guys, sometimes it could be the fact that even through chaos, some of us know how to keep smiling. Some of us know how to find that joy even when it is storming, loud and hard and scary in our life. And that can trip people up. I mean, one moment, the smile on my face is, oh my gosh, there's the girl with the glued on smile. She does not know what it's like to have problems. I'm going to go to her for advice. She's got the answers. But then you got another group of people who look at me with that smile and say, she's all the time smiling. You can't trust her. So that smile can be good to some and bad to others. And it's the same smile. So life is hard. And that's why we just have to. We just have to be here for one another, All right, let me see what you guys are saying. But don't give up, Jen. I do remember that. Don't give up on him. Because at the end of the day, your kid has one mom, and he just needs to always know that you're there and you're always available. And I know life gets busy, life gets hectic. We have bosses that we are accountable to. We have jobs that we have to do. We have bills that we have to pay. Just don't give up on him. He's got to know that whenever he's ready, that mom is still standing in his corner. And it's hard to be patient. Mara says, too many people lie and manipulate, but all that eventually comes out. I do agree, Mare. I do agree. Garbage in, garbage out. We behave a certain way just because other people aren't seeing it. It eventually will come to light, you know? Treat others as you would want them to treat you. When you're struggling with something and overwhelmed, remember that feeling when someone else comes to you and they are overwhelmed. Treat people with kindness. People will treat you with kindness back. Treat people with meanness. Don't gripe when you get meanness back. Mary says being used and is painful and disheartening. Oh, yes, it is. Mary says you need to be true to yourself. Yeah, because you can't be anything to anybody else until you do take care of yourself and you are true to yourself. I have learned that the hard way. I'm one who will do for others and neglect myself. And then I get to a point, I am no good to nobody. And it's an ugly embarrassment. Mary says yes, and it is also here on YouTube. It is, sadly. And I'm starting to see it. And I really want to stay blind to it. But at the same token, you know, just today in our Bible study, it talked about, Lord, keep me away from falsehood and lies. And so if I'm blinded to it, then I can't keep myself away from it. I have to recognize it in order to know to stay away from it. Mary says a girlfriend who helped many people start their channels, which are now big channels, have snubbed my friend and sort of rubbed her nose in it because they have big channels. You know what? I am all for helping people grow their channel, even though I'm a nobody. I'm a small channel that only a few people can say, oh, yeah, I know who that is. And, you know, I have nothing unless God wants me to have it. So therefore, I can't take credit for anything. I have to give him the credit. And he brings people into my life for certain reasons. Mayor, I still will not forget those 6:30 phone calls when I laid in that hospital bed, miserable. And yet I was laughing. I was laughing because God put you in my life to tell me cat stories at 6:30 in the morning. I am so humbled because I did nothing to create that laughter. that joy in the midst of pain and fear and, I mean, just chaos. And that breaks my heart that somebody helps somebody and then they treat her like that. I would much rather be her friend. I would much rather be friend with the little people than to be friends with someone great and famous and popular who can't tell you the color of my eyes or my favorite color or even what month my birthday's in. That truly breaks my heart, what you just shared. I hope whoever she is, that she just keeps her head held high. And remember what's important. Mary says, just because you don't say anything or take a negative stance doesn't mean that you are unaware of these things. Oh my gosh. Amen. That is so true. You know, in everything that comes our way, we have a choice how we react. And you're right. Just because we don't react negatively doesn't mean we condone, we support. Some of the most gentle giants know when to speak, when to act, and when to leave. I would much rather be a gentle giant than to be famous. I would rather be known for my heart than my name, my face. You know, I've said it before, when it comes to many of you, I know who you are because I see your heart. But if you were to walk up to me on the street and I look at you, I wouldn't know who you are. I would not recognize you by your face. But if you spoke, I might know who you are. If you said a name, I might recognize it. That's one of the things so far I've loved about YouTube, is many of you, I know you by your heart. I recognize you by your heart. And yet, I don't even know what you look like. And it doesn't matter. Dang. Got deep, emotional. Mare says, I have a small channel, but I have a voice, and you know many, many people, and I am an analyst. So I observe and treat people like I want to be treated. I'm very thankful that you are one of the people that God has brought into my life, because your integrity is one to be admired, and one that I aspire to be like. You know, they say you are what you eat, you are what you watch, you are who you hang out with. You know, Jen, if you're still with me, Bree sent me a set of stitch markers. And I'm using one. They both say the same thing. But can you see what this says? Does that focus in? There it goes. It's become one of my favorite stitch markers. Don't give up. Jen says, I'm here. Yes. And I apologize because I do now have 5 blind friends that are some of my joy buddies. And so the stitch marker says, this too shall pass. Everything is temporary. And we have choices on how we handle it, how we behave. You know, one of the things I struggled with was in situations, I always had to be right if I was right. If I was right, I had to be right. But if I was wrong, I could humbly say I'm wrong and apologize. But if I'm right, I had to be right. And one of the things that I have learned in the last year of my life, especially doing this Proverbs Bible study again, is I don't have to prove that I'm right. And being silent doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means I choose when to speak and when to just let go. And sometimes it takes a bigger person to just let go and be silent. And once again, I would rather be that gentle giant than to be right, to be known. Mare says, when my husband passed, some people who barely knew me, took up a collection for me. I was new to that department, but hundreds of people contributed because I acknowledge people. That's a beautiful testimony. You know, Mayor, that's why when I respond to my comments, and I do respond to every one of them, I like to use the person's name because I want them to know it's not just a generic response. Even if it's similar to another response, I want them to know that I'm speaking to them individually in that second, in that moment. You are such an amazing person, Mayor. And I am the lucky one. I'm very lucky. I mean, right here, right now, in this core group of people, I am blessed. And I sure did nothing to deserve it. But I'm blessed to know you amazing women. Mayor says, I know the cleaning people, the engineering people, the security people, all the people I did charity fundraisers and special events. I had no idea that so many cared, because when you treat people a certain way, they're going to treat you that way back. But it has to be genuine. It can't be, I'm going to do this for someone because I know I'll get something back in return. It has to be genuine, expecting nothing. Jen says, we all are blessed in this group. We do have an amazing core group here. And I don't know if there's anyone new on right now. It says there's only 4 people here. But I love, love, love the way when somebody new comes in, that you guys immediately jump in and welcome them, hug them out, tell them good night, congratulate them when they have a success, not just in a question, but in winning a giveaway. You are an amazing group of women. And I am very blessed to be a part of the audience that gets to watch you in action, and to be part of the receiving end of that love and that generosity and that encouragement and that strength and that beauty. I love the fact that this group is so dynamic that we can go from laughing so hard that we're crying and about to wet our pants, having fun, to then being there for one another when someone gets bad news or gets sick or just has something heavy on their heart. I mean, this one video is like a multitude of videos. We've done several things, from eating to burping to playing a game to talking about a movie to living life and encouraging one another. And I'm just so lucky that I get to be a part of the audience that gets to see that and be a part of that. It's pretty cool. See? Roseanne says all those bodily functions. That's right. Mary says it's better to have a few that are trustworthy than a collection of lurkers in big numbers. Oh, I agree. I agree. Yeah, as long as my number's not on 666 anymore, I'm happy. I woke up that morning and I was like, oh, just one. All I'm asking for is one. And 7 days later, I had 21 new subscribers. But you're so right. There's power in small numbers. Great things come in little packages. You know, I think back to when my husband and I got married, and he was doing landscaping, and he's like, I don't make a lot of money. Well, good, because I'm not marrying you for your money. My husband had money. He could have paid for someone to take care of me during this recovery. But instead, he did it. And I love him more today than I did the day we got married. I am the lucky one. I don't know how to come out of this. Somebody say something funny. Tell a joke. Mara says, I'm actually around 350, which is pretty good for 13 videos. That's all you have out is 13 videos? Wow. I mean, I've seen a good many of your videos, but wow. And that is good. That is good. Some of I mentioned, I think Wednesday, or it might have been earlier on Cup2Hook Conversations. I have a good many subscribers that are not even public, and I don't even know who they are. I think one of them is my youngest son. He swears he's subscribed to my channel, but I can't see him. But I know he supports me. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be able to do the things I'm already doing, because he had to teach me. And he's given me another laptop to help. Roseanne says, I was engaged to my husband and he lost his job and asked me, are you still going to marry me? And I said, I'm not marrying you for your money. Amen. Amen. Roseanne says, I have my own. Mary says, I don't edit, don't do big overt gestures. Anyway, I think in August it will be 2 years. Wow. You guys, it's not my story to tell. But the person who came up with this idea of Friday nights, well, I picked the night, but our time together here, because I feel like that's where our friendship has really, grown and come into play. If y'all knew the giants that this person has faced and is still facing, came up with this beautiful idea of watching movies and crocheting. She planted a seed, and it has blossomed. And this is my favorite night of the week. I just wish I could remove some of those giants for her. To show the thanks and the gratitude that I have for the amazing people that have come into my life because of her brilliant idea. Mary says that's sweet. I am humbly blessed. And there was a time in my life I was not satisfied. I wanted more of things. Not just things, but things. Anything. And I'm not trying to turn this into a sermon, but you guys, our Bible verse today that I told those that do Proverbs with me, the verse that we were highlighting is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 8. And I'm paraphrasing this, but it basically says, help me to get away from falsehood and lies. I don't ask for poverty or riches. I just ask for enough for my daily needs. In other words, the king Amur that was writing those words was telling God that he was completely satisfied with being an honest person and not socializing with people that are manipulative and false and liars. And that he was content with not being poor or rich, just having enough to get through the day. Didn't want anything from the blessings that will come from tomorrow, because he'll wait to get those tomorrow. He just wanted enough to get through the day and be happy and satisfied. And I told the people in the Bible study, I cannot make this my verse for the week. I want to make that my verse for a long time to come in my life. To be honest, to be real, and to be satisfied. How we get on this? I love you guys. I love you so much. I just wish there was a way I could take the pain, because I know each of you individually, and I know your pain. You've been so gracious to open up and share with me. And I wish I could take some of your pain and make it lighter. Because everybody has something. Everybody has something. Sometimes it might be heavier for some of us. Sometimes it might be lighter for some of us. But everybody has something. I get so tickled. My husband's always like, you pray, you talk, you tell the story, you use your pretty words. Sometimes I don't have words. Sometimes I just want to be a silent force of nature that makes people love themselves and just find their own individual joy. Sometimes I just want to be that silent force that just shows up in a smile, a warmth of presence. But above all of it, in your own way, you're just magnificent and beautiful. And I just want you to be strong. And know that you matter and you're important. You know, I think about the movie The Help. My husband's favorite part is when Adeline tells the little girl, you is kind, you is special, you is important. My tears are not sad tears, you guys. My tears, my emotions are good. It's happy. You make me happy. You make me be a better version of me. And I'm just happy, satisfied, thankful, blessed, joyful. Because of you, I am very rich. I will sleep very good tonight. Jen says, I would never stay up this late to talk to people over the internet before. I love our Friday nights also. Amen. Mare says, I remember Roseanne in your channel the day I stumbled across movie night on a show I'd never heard of, and everyone was so welcoming. Oh, Roseanne, doesn't that just make your heart feel all fuzzy inside for just being who you are? Mare, thank you for sharing that. I know that has to mean so much to Roseanne. Roseanne has an emoji smiley face with a heart and praying hands. Roseanne says, I like to look at life as you do, good in this world, and the good Lord does good for you in return. Amen. Roseanne says, this past Mother's Day was very hard for me. I don't have children, and I just retired from work, and I don't have my mom here to share this with, to spend more time with her. I'm so sorry. I know you miss her. Roseanne says, suddenly she passed. Mare says, so many of those same people who snubbed my friend also are fair weather friends. I want my channel to blow up just to say you can grow your channel honestly without a gimmick. Roseanne says, you're right, Mare. Hard work will pay off for your channel. Roseanne says, yes, it does. Mare says, growth should be organic and have content. Amen. You guys, there's certain subjects that I have to always be gentle with on my channel. I spoke to someone on Mother's Day, and they were like, yeah, I got a new laptop. And I was like, oh, great. Yep, I've got Zoom set up so I can do my Sunday school. I don't have to miss church, I don't have to worry about bad connections. And I'm like, oh. And she was telling me who was setting her laptop up. And I said, well, maybe they can help you put a shortcut on there to YouTube, and you can come on and subscribe to my channel and be a part of it. I know you're not crocheting anymore, but there's more on my channel. I do a morning devotion for about 3-4 minutes every morning. I do have a Bible study on there every Friday. I'm doing a segment on angel stories right now. And I'd love you to come over and check out what's going on. And this person was like, oh, I don't know. That's just so complicated and Greek to me. And I'm like, oh, but she can put a button on there. I mean, all you have to do is push it and it'll take you to YouTube. And they weren't even willing to try. And I thought to myself, I spend so much time trying to make this one person happy and proud of me. But the harder I seem to fight for their love, the further and further I get away. So I agree about success coming with hard work. But I do pray that just one day, just sometime, before my mother passes away, she will come and check out my YouTube channel. Her 3 sisters are subscribers on my channel. 2 of them have been watching my videos and even letting them play to help me try and get watch hours. And I'm thankful for their support. Wow. Mayor says, "You are so worth it. It is their loss." And that was spiteful and rude. Well, I guess I should be happy that she can at least figure out how to work Zoom and go to church in the midst of COVID. You guys, this has been great and fun, but I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I do appreciate you being here, and I'm glad we made it through the questions, and you guys did an amazing job. Look at the points you racked up. It's going to be fun to see who ends up with the most points when it's all done. I'll work on those bonus questions. Those were a lot of fun. I like that. So, let's see. Just, I love that you blow raspberries. Laugh out loud. I mean, Mayor says, my sister-in-law would probably respond the same way because to her, handmade doesn't equal a designer label. Oh, wow. Yeah. I'd much rather have homemade than a designer label. Roseanne says, therapy session is done now. Yes. Well, I do appreciate you letting me be real and raw. That is a subject that I don't have the luxury to share much on because progress is being made, and that's what's important. Not where we've been, not where we've come from. And I am learning to trust women, and I am learning to have friendships that go deeper than running around on a basketball court with men who don't hold on to things and carry things. A lot of my friends in high school were guys, and in college were guys. So if I had women friends, they were usually a good bit older than me. And y'all have restored faith in womankind. So I thank you. Not really so much for your friendship as I do for your sisterhood. And And I try to be careful on my channel not to just talk to women, because I do have some subscribers that are men. But I can safely and honestly say right now that I know that at least the majority of the people that are here with me right now are women. So, but anyway. All right. Mary says, I bought myself a fancy ribbon label machine. So now I can add fancy labels to my homemade goods. Yay! Oh, I love it. Jen says, thanks for letting us be real and raw. I thank you too. You're welcome. Roseanne says, and amen, Jen. Mary says, hey. Shawnee could be my alter ego. There you go. I love it. Oh, you guys are amazing. Jen, bless your heart. I know before we ever got started, you were exhausted. And you're here with us now. Thank you. Roseanne, Mayor, how did a girl like me get so lucky? Thank you. Roseanne says, God bless all of us. Yes, yes. Man, I wish I could have y'all come over for a weekend. Wouldn't that be great? Let's talk when COVID lifts. Jen says, that's what this group is for me. I completely agree. I love that there's no script. I love that there's no rules other than you have to be nice to one another. I just love it. Absolutely, Jen. She says, you want to hear something funny? Yes. Send us off with something funny. And I'm going to go back to eating. Roseanne says, yes, yes, yes. Mayor says, and Roseanne, I also feel like I have no family to speak of, except for friends that are family you choose. Amen. Amen. Oh, no. Jen, bless your heart. She says, I ripped out another 12 rows and almost finished my square again. Call me Rip It Again, Jen. Oh my gosh, bless your heart. Well, I'll tell you what, when you finish this blanket, the receiver is going to be wrapped in tons of love. Roseanne says, laugh out loud. Mara says, oh no. Oh. Okay. All right. Mrs. Joyful's reminded me that it's now past midnight and I haven't taken my insulin shot. So, as I'm eating Doritos, I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing, wonderfully blessed, joyful week, because you each deserve it. The things that are holding you back and holding you down, let them go. Let them go and just be free this week. We're women. We have somebody that we have to do something for. Roseanne, it may not be children, may not be a job, but maybe you've made yourself now a slave to your home or whatever. I encourage each of us, if you can't come join me next Wednesday for 1 hour to just crochet and hang out again and have fun, just do something special for yourself this week. Just do something special for you. Whether you just stay in bed an hour later, you buy yourself something, you cook yourself something, make dinner about you instead of the fam. Whatever it is, let's each try and do something special for ourselves this week. Yeah. Jen, bless your heart. She says 1 square down and 8 more to go. Roseanne says, good night, everyone. Mare says, go take that shot. I know. And go join that sweet man. Roseanne, I am adoptable. Just saying. Oh my gosh. I love y'all so much. I love you, love you, love you. I hope you know that. I need to get something to drink too. Hugs, everyone. Oh my gosh, squeeze tight. This has been an amazing night, as always. And you guys are the equation. So, thank you. Roseanne has a smiley face emoji, says hugs. Jen says, love you guys. Have a good night. Mary says, but I come with 4 fur babies. Hugs to all. Yes, she does. 4 eccentric, exciting little fur babies who have amazing personalities of their own. But oh my gosh, we'll keep you in stitches. All right. I love you guys so much. Take care. You know it. Stay safe. Be joyful. Stay crafty in your own way. Make your own joyful creations. And I will see you again very, very soon.